3, a 2, a 1, a 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back to the first official podcast of the Girlies and the Besties.
Woo.
Woohoo! Okay, I don't know if you guys want to reintroduce yourself because
We can.
we can just do
do.
quick.
Yeah.
I'm your host Nancy.
I'm the co-host Chewy.
I'm the other co-host, Lee.
Yeah. Okay, so today we've been bugging Lee to watch
Oh my
Bridgerton
For months.
for the longest time,
Yes.
and she finally watched the first season.
Yes.
And
I've never seen it, and then Nancy was kind of like, "We should watch it." And I'm like, what? I've heard things about it.
Me too.
Boy, I'm not really into like romance stuff. I didn't think I was gonna get that into it actually.
it always
And
gets
then
you.
I was like,
Yeah,
"Why?"
I was literally watching the first season. Now, I already knew it was interesting when it first came out. Because, everybody was hyping it up. My sisters were watching it. Everybody was watching it. So I was like, oh, I should watch this. But then I never got around to it. And then, years passed by. And I was like, it's too much work now to try and actually go and watch it. But
Yeah, and granted, I don't think any of us have read the books, right?
Nope.
No, I heard
No.
the books are really
No.
bad.
Ooh.
In terms of, they're great, but the male characters are super toxic. And the people were like, dude, Shonda Rhimes, which is the creator of the show
Uh-huh.
or producer, she did wonders on these
Oh,
guys
really?
because
Yeah.
they changed a lot from the books.
Wow.
And so that's why people are they kind of they have full permission from the writer to change things that are
Oh.
canon. And so there's predictions of what might happen in the new
Oh,
season
I didn't know that.
because they did change it. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to find out who Lady Whistledown until
Oh, I know,
Penelope's
yeah.
Wait, well, how far did you get?
The first season, yeah, and
Okay.
at the end
Did
they
you start
show
the second
who.
Yeah, you know who.
No, I didn't start it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I
Good
do.
thing I was gonna say
yeah.
something, and I was like,
I was gonna say spoiler. But I was like, oh wait, I watched it.
No, anyone. Okay, obviously, spoiler alert if you're gonna be watching
right,
this.
right. Disclaimer. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, spoiler alert.
If
For
you've never
season one.
watched it, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, so I finally got around to it because then we started doing the podcast, and we're like, oh yeah, we can talk about all of this stuff. And I was like, you know what? Sure, let me watch Bridgerton. It's actually pretty good, actually.
It's your
I was
time.
gonna ask, what's your first initial thoughts? On
Yeah.
season one?
I kind of was already thinking okay, everybody already really liked it when it first came out, so I was like, it must be good. And then after I watched it, I was like, actually, yeah, I can kind of see what the hype is about. But there was definitely moments where I was like, this bit, what is that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Just some of the stuff that they were doing. I was like,
Just talk it out.
yeah, no
Yeah,
words. can express
I
it.
always say the first season is the hardest to rewatch. I like rewatching the first part, and then the second part of the season, I'm like, so boring.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
the whole marital
Oh,
issues. I'm
yeah.
like, dude,
Oh my
it's
god.
dragging on.
Oh my god, yeah. I literally was talking about that to Alex. It was okay. Wait, do we want to start from the beginning, or do we want to just
Yeah, start from the
Okay.
beginning.
Start with the-
I think it's crazy how they have that. Is it debutante?
Mm-hmm.
Debutante.
Debutante.
I think it's wild that they do that stuff. I never really understand.
I think it's
what
pretty
the point of
accurate
it
in
is.
terms of the marriage market.
Ah, yeah.
Did you like the diamond?
Diamond.
girl?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Daphne.
Yeah,
Daphne.
I think she's actually very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like she played her character pretty well. I feel like they chose a good actress to play her.
Mhm.
What do you think?
I really liked her.
Yeah,
I thought
she was
very
good,
pretty at first,
Yeah.
She really gave off the oldest sibling,
She did.
Vibe.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
having to be perfect and be the role model. for the
Expectations
youngers.
and yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I thought she was good. I was not expecting the scene with her older brother because you know how they kind of jump us right into it of she's getting ready for it and everything.
Oh,
And they're
yeah.
all like,
The
"Where's
first
that?
scene-
Yeah, where's their
The
brother
first
at?"
time you see Anthony,
Yeah.
this dude's porking his girlfriend
Yeah.
Yeah.
on a freaking
Free.
tree in the middle of the park
Mm.
in
that one
broad
guy-
daylight.
Mhm.
And who's the guy? I don't want to say it's a guard, but whoever
He's
it is.
probably a
It's just
servant. He's
standing
just a
there.
servant,
Servant, there we
yeah.
go. It's just standing there with the horse. Here's everything, but he has to not look. Tries to
Yeah.
ignore it. I'm like, that's weird.
I would not want to watch my boss
no.
do his wife or his
His-
girlfriend,
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Unofficial girlfriend.
unofficial
so
girlfriend.
that totally caught me off guard. I was like, oh, we are jumping right in.
Yep.
That's
I was actually
funny.
really surprised of how many things there were.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
oh.
not expecting that.
I didn't prep you for that because, like, I'm, you know, it's just,
Yeah.
Right.
everyone knows that Bridgerton is kind of horny, so like, and you gotta go in there expecting to see some horny stuff, okay?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this would be like really cute, like romancy.
No,
whatever,
Yeah.
and
you
all
see a
sudden
lot
you're
of
like,
butts
Yes.
and occasionally a boob,
yes.
and we love boobs. So
Yes. So I was caught off by that. I was like, oh, wow. Like, I feel like when it first came out, I feel like I heard a lot of people say, wow, there's actually a lot of like, stuff going on. But then I feel like after, obviously, the years, I forget what it's like mainly about. So when I saw it all, I was like, damn.
Yep.
yeah.
There's a lot of really nice butts in there. I want to say.
Who's your favorite butt?
My favorite butt? Honestly, I think the Duke's butt.
The Duke's butt.
It's the Duke's and then King
George.
George's. And I don't really care for Anthony. I still don't like
Wait,
him.
who's
Anthony.
Wait, who's King George?
Oh, you'll get there.
You'll get there.
Oh, okay. That's
the,
why.
That's a
spin-off.
spin-off.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like, what? Are we talking about season 1 still, or?
No, it's just like overall for.
Ah,
Yeah, for me.
gotcha. That's fun.
Well, Lee, what's your favorite character? Butts excluded.
Favorite character? Oof, that's tough. I don't know if I have one right now. So I do like Colin, the brother.
Cool.
Yeah.
Colin.
So I do
Yeah.
like him because I feel like he is cliche, but like such a gentleman in the
Gentleman.
season. But it was obvious that he was also like still pretty young, like with how fast he was trying to marry.
How did you feel about that story?
What was her name?
Story like Marina.
My God, I'm so bad with names.
Yeah.
Yes, dude, that pissed me off when she was all like, she finds out she's pregnant, and then she's, Lady Featherington is all like, okay, well, we have to find you a suitor just to try and like cover up the pregnancy, basically. So then they're over here like, oh yeah, let's like basically, or at least Marina is like, let's take advantage of Colin because he's the only one that actually likes me. I was like, you got me messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, but you gotta understand
Yeah.
that she was in a tough spot because
Yeah.
she thought her lover was dead, and well, you know, she thought her lover abandoned her, and so she had to find the most like potential man she could be happy with, and so the
and
most
as soon
potential
as
man,
possible, too.
the most potential person was Colin. So.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of Lady Featherington,
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with her.
Me
Like,
too.
Lady
when she's-
Featherington.
Yeah, like when she wants to be like a mom, she's a great mom.
Yeah.
But then like when she's like,
Dude, she's
all
not
the
great to
plots.
Penelope is all.
She's
like,
not.
she did have that one moment with Penelope.
When?
in,
That's spoilers.
later-
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I was like, when?
It's not really spoilers, but
not really spoilers,
that's
but
yeah,
It does get a little bit better.
yeah.
no.
Oh,
No, not really.
you
oh.
never say it's the same with Lady
But yeah.
Featherington.
Either way, though,
But-
I am still kind of like mixed feelings with
I
it.
think
so.
you have. She's like the epitome of the most cutthroat mother of that era because
I would say so, yeah.
she is very like driven because she needs to get her daughters married,
Yeah.
and so she will be like cutthroat about it,
Yeah, she's
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Which is a good mother for that.
Yeah,
time
I was like,
period.
given that time period, definitely it makes sense.
good mother for emotional abuse. No.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But
But like go back to Marina.
yeah.
Like, did you enjoy that whole story of her and?
I mean, it wasn't bad. I definitely, I feel like it was good. I feel like I kind of already knew. Like, I was like, okay, they're not gonna get married. Like, I feel like, that'd be like kind of just cutting off one of the Bridgerton kids there, and I feel like you can do so much within just like the whole like Bridgerton series franchise. I don't know. With the siblings, and so I was like, they can't get married right then and there. But also, I was for some reason okay. Right when they wrote, like Lady Featherington wrote about Marina's pregnancy, I was like, I feel like that's such an
Lady
obvious.
whistleblower.
Oh, whistle
down.
down. Sorry, whistle down.
Whistle down.
Whistleblower.
What did I say?
No, you
That's
said
a
whistle
Featherington.
down.
No, I heard her say
Whistleton?
Featherington.
I did. I think I did say
Featherington.
Featherington.
Oh.
But either way, I kind of was like, it has to be Penelope, right? Because I'm like, dude, she was the one that cared so much about Colin, that she didn't want Marina to marry him. And then I was like, how else would Lady Whistledown have found out that Marina... Sorry, my dog just farted. My dog just farted. I heard the little...
Oh god.
I didn't hear anything.
Good thing our window's open.
So it just threw me off.
How dumb.
But yes, so...
Oh, did they reveal who?
At the
Yes.
very end. At the very end.
Okay.
Remember, Eloise goes, "Lady Whistledown, it's a trap."
Yeah, she
Right,
goes,
right.
go, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I thought it was Lady Danbury.
You did?
Because she's always like listening. She's always there. At
She
all
is.
the events.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there was a scene where Eloise asks her, and she's like, "Child, I rather speak my my secrets rather than write about
Right.
them."
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Going back to like favorite character, I think Lady Danbury.
Oh, I do love her.
I love
She is a
Lady
good
Danbury.
character, yeah.
Lady Danbury, and then her and the Queen's like relationship with each other. It's so like.
You'll have to watch the
mutual.
spin-off.
Yeah.
I was like,
Uh-huh.
I don't get much from just season 1, so you're like saying all this stuff. And I'm like,
Oh,
what do you mean?
Really, I really love their relationship with each other already in season 1.
Really?
Yeah, just how they can be like so like transparent with each other and just speak each other's minds to each other.
Oh, yeah, without kind of that fear of like everyone, they're like, oh, it's the Queen. I can't say
Right,
that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to hurry up and watch like the other seasons and stuff then, because I feel like I'm so behind, even though I watched the first season.
yeah, don't worry. I think season 3 part 2 is coming out. in
It's coming out
June.
soon, June something.
That's coming up.
But yeah, I think my favorite most rewatchable season would be season 2. I know you didn't really care for Anthony.
I hate Anthony.
Okay, but I only really like it because of Kate. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
love Kate. She's my favorite character.
What?
She's so
Yeah.
hot.
Is this still season 1?
This is
That's
season 2.
now.
Yeah,
Season
I'm
2.
like,
Oh,
I
you're
don't
not
even
there
know
yet.
what y'all talking
But
about.
I'm just saying that's like I don't know. Okay, the next question for me was to have, what's your favorite romance trope? Because season 2 will be enemies to lovers.
Okay, I am a sucker for enemies to lovers.
Okay, then you might like season 2 better. And I feel like it's more rewatchable because the storyline is kind of like very linear, and it's good background character. Like they have a lot of flashbacks and stuff.
Oh,
I know season 1 had it with the Duke, but
yes.
there's
but
a
it
little
was
bit more
mainly-
Bridgerton backstory. In the
Oh,
second
I would love to
season.
have
I
that.
would see-
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I
I'm
would
over
see
here
that.
wondering. I'm like, what do they call their dad? What is he? Viscount. There we go.
Yeah, the Viscount.
Because they're over here like, oh yeah, like the Viscount this, Viscount that. Like Anthony, you have to take his role now. Blah blah. And I'm like, what happened to him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so-
you'll find out about that, and then yeah, Miss Kate Schwammer.
I don't know who that is. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah,
That means you gotta watch it.
I
Yeah,
know
watch it.
that means okay.
We should watch season 3, the
Together?
second part together.
We should.
Actually, we can watch the whole season together because I think I want to rewatch season 3, like the beginning,
Oh,
because I feel like we were a little too critical about it. I think we need to rewatch it because with the
And
new perspective.
Yeah, because I've seen some TikToks. Oh, at least you've sent me some
Yeah.
TikToks about season 3. I'm like, okay.
Fine, that's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah, let us know when you're
Yeah. Okay, but I was telling my siblings though, I suck at like committing myself to watching TV shows
Yeah.
because I literally will watch one and then I get bored watching it and then I'm like, oh, I have to watch something else. Like I watched Boys Over Flowers. You guys know the K
Yeah.
drama. So I actually was seeing snippets of Boys Over Flower Thailand, and so then I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna watch that. So I binged it, finished it, and I was like, oh my gosh, now that makes me want to watch the Korean version of Boys Over Flowers. So I went. And I'm still watching it.
Oh,
Because
that
I-
was like a month ago.
Yeah, that was like
Oh,
a month
wow.
ago. So I'm still watching it because I started watching it and I was like, okay, I'm kind of bored of this now. So then I swapped over to Bridgerton. That's why I started watching Bridgerton. Yeah, so I finished the first season. Yeah, so partly. So then I finished season 1 and I was like, okay, I should get started on season 2. But then I was like, I'm kind of done with Bridgerton right now. So then I turned to anime and I just finished watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So then I'm like, what do I want to watch now? Do I want to go back to like Boys Over Flowers? Do I want to start season 2 of Bridgerton? So I'm so bad with this stuff. So it's going to take some time.
We won't
Girl,
help
hurry
you.
up, because season 3 is coming out soon.
I know.
But
We'll see. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, what's your favorite romance trope?
Enemies to lovers. I
Mhm.
feel like it would have to be that. Otherwise, you gotta give me like options. Because when you ask me that
Yeah.
question, I'm like,
There's
what does that
I don't
mean?
know.
there's friends to lovers, there's enemies to lovers, there's the arranged marriage / fake
Ooh.
relationship
oh, kind of like
trope.
with the Duke and the.
Yeah. There's more, but can't think of it
Mm,
off the top of my head.
That's tough. I feel like I definitely am a sucker for enemies to lovers trope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes kind of that love triangle too, but then that always
I
leaves
hate
me. I know. I was like, that always
No.
leaves me with feelings of frustration,
Yeah, for
especially if the
me,
second lead definitely deserves the main female lead
Yeah.
versus the male lead.
Mhm.
I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I kind of like. I think I like enemies to lovers too. Just kind of seeing like how like they bicker with each other
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, hate each other.
Yeah.
and it's not like.
Okay, so then why didn't you like season 2?
'Cause
You didn't like Anthony?
Just Anthony.
But even though
Well,
you
I
saw the
understand, though.
background, like,
Yeah. I understand it. Like, yeah. Oh, we can't talk about season 2 yet.
Yeah, I was like,
Ooh,
hold
just
up,
wait.
hold up, no
Just wait.
spoilers.
Just wait. I'll get to that point in season 2. There's a
Hmm.
specific scene where. Do you remember that scene where they're like really close? Yeah. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, my favorite's too enemies to lovers. So
Ah,
that's why I really like season 2, but clearly.
clearly.
Clearly, some people have different opinions. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what your
Yeah.
opinion is.
What would you think season 1 is about then? Is it friends to lovers?
That's the
enemies to
array- that's the
I would
fake
say that,
relationship.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it'll be friends to lovers because they were friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only didn't like each other for like the first like few episodes, and then they made that deal, and then they like started becoming
Started, yeah.
friends. Okay, I know you asked, or you said something before, but who did you think Lady Whistledown was?
I honestly had no idea because I was kind of just following Eloise and like the clues and like the stuff that she was trying to do. Because I really was like, yeah, who is Lady Whistledown? Like, is she just a whole nother person by herself? No one that we like, a character we don't even know yet? Or is she someone that we've already seen throughout the season that she is using that as like her, what do you call it? Like a alias, yeah. So I was like, or is it someone we know and they're just using it as an alias? I think I didn't. I think I did at one point think it was Lady Danbury too, but then I was like, I don't know, because I feel like we don't really see her enough to see if she picked up on like hints and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think the moment that Marina's pregnancy came
Well,
out,
oh,
I'm
yes.
like, oh, it can't be. It has to be Penn.
Yeah.
It has to be Penn.
The moment
Well,
that
it could have been maids.
No,
Yeah,
I think
well-
the maids was ruled out really soon.
But also, I was like, why would the maids do it? They have no reason to all of a sudden now release that Marina is pregnant.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
Plus, there
maybe-
wasn't really any.
Maybe the maid spread it, and then Lady Whistledown heard about it.
Oh.
It didn't have to be like the
Well,
maid as Lady Whistledown.
Yeah, but like I'm like Marina's been pregnant for like a while because that's why they were
Yeah.
trying to hurry up and get her to get married.
Mhm.
Was because she would be giving birth soon. So that's why I'm like that means that the maids had to have known already for a while, and yet they chose not to like say much about it. At least that's what I'm speculating. Because then I'm like, it just so happens, like, it's such a coincidence that, of course, the day that Penelope finds out that they're gonna, like, run away and, like, get married together, is also that same morning, then it gets released that Marina is pregnant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I also think that there wasn't any character build for any maids at all.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, like I don't remember any of the maids or the servants' names.
The only one I remember is Daphne's, Rose,
Yeah.
Oh.
And then,
but she moved with Daphne, so
Yep. So
Oh.
then she wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, I only know Lady Featherington's,
yeah,
Maid.
I forget her.
I don't know
name.
her name, but
I only remember the queens. The queens.
Brimsley.
Brimsley.
Ramsay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of like, it has to be like one of those two. But they did a really good job of like kind of covering it as like it's not Penelope, because she was always at like every big event. Or if she wasn't there, it would show her home with like Marina or like doing whatever. So then it kind of like was a good cover up of, well, she's so busy doing this. How could she be lazy? Lady Featherington.
Yeah. Who did you think? This is our second time watching the season now, so
Honestly, it's been so long. I don't remember who I thought it was initially.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's been so long. I don't remember. I literally watched Bridgerton, at least the first season, like 3 times.
Oh wow.
Dang.
3 times, and
Three
then
times?
I think I rewatched it the 4th time with you.
Wow.
And then
Okay, yeah.
I rewatched the second season like 2 times, and then watched it with you.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's a good background show if I were to see it. So I just put it on when I have
Yeah,
nothing else to
true.
watch.
Yeah, I was telling Nancy that I was like, I'm down to watch the spin-off when you get to that part with you, because I really like the spin-off.
Oh, nice.
I think we'll have to do a marathon.
I was gonna say
Because I feel like if you, especially for the spin-off, it's kind of like not a lot happening because it's more like
Yeah, true.
narrative,
Yeah.
like, and it flips between like timelines. So I think if you watch it by yourself, you're gonna get really bored,
Oh,
and I don't think you will commit to it.
yeah.
I think that's also the other reason why I really got into it, because I was watching with Nancy. So we
I think
like-
it would help if you watched it with us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Yeah.
We would talk about it. Oh, but we watch it together. We can't talk about it.
No, we still can.
We can still talk about it.
So we can try to like limit side comments. I don't know.
I think I could just come up with like a list of questions that
Oh, yeah.
we'll
True, true.
highlight whatever we
Yeah.
like
True.
saw.
But pretty good. So that kind of I guess set me up to like see like, oh, I kind of want to see how the other seasons are now. So
Down for that.
I do want to just say real quick though, in the one part of Bridgerton, I was like, girl, you got me messed up. Why would you?
Part.
Was the part where it's after the Duke and Daphne are already married. And so, of course, she's like so innocent because her mom didn't really tell her much. So she's over here like, I don't know anything,
Yeah.
whatever, you know. But then they're over here doing all that like shit or like having sex everywhere, you know. And the part that like I was like, why in your right mind? But at the same time, I was like, I get it. Was when she forces him to, you know,
Yeah.
And so that my first thought was, boy, why you don't just push her off you? Why are you letting it happen? You know, because he's over here like, Daphne? Like,
Right.
he's like looking concerned. And I'm like, Duke, come on now.
Right.
I think he probably just was in shock because like he didn't
Yeah.
think that she knew.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
No.
No.
He
no.
knew that she didn't know.
I know. That's why he didn't think that she
Oh, that she was
knew
gonna, yeah.
about
Oh.
you know
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how babies are made.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "What are you doing? Like, why
Yeah.
are you holding me down?" Yeah, I think
Right.
he was just in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah,
that
so-
happened, and then like it just went downhill from there, because then there was like so much tension between them. But I was just like, oh my gosh, literally all of this could be solved with just simple communication.
I
You
the
know?
entire season, I'm like, y'all just need to talk.
Yeah.
That's another romance
it.
trope: miscommunication.
Yeah. That one I hate, because then I get so frustrated. I'm like, all you have to do.
Just talk to
Yeah.
each other.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was like the one thing that like annoyed me so much from that episode, or not episode, season, was just all of that. And then they're over here like, oh yeah, like at the end of this, if we figure out if I'm pregnant or not, whatever, you know, like that'll decide whether we go our own way or like how stuff's gonna work and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, this is how y'all made decisions back then.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he had a lot of trauma.
Mhm.
The dude had a lot
Yeah.
of trauma he had to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know he didn't want to get married in the first place, so I feel like that's already like so much change for him. So for him to like, one, get married when he didn't want to in the first place, and then two, to try to open up about his trauma, that's a lot to ask for. You know, so I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know. You kind of know like Daphne's like stubborn, and she also like is someone who like will kind of do what it takes to get that information or like to just know it better. But yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say they were burning for each other. I'm burned for
I
you.
burn for you.
I'm burned for you.
I was like, okay.
Some of the sayings, me and Nancy were talking, like, man, we cannot say those sayings.
No,
today.
no.
You have to say it in like a British accent too, because
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't work in an American accent. I burn for you.
Yeah, and I'm
Girl,
like,
I burn for you.
I burn for you.
Is that healthy?
Oh,
That's
man.
funny.
I think
Yeah.
that's one of the sayings I still remember because it's just so funny. It's like, who says that? Who
That
says
is so funny. Yeah, you said that and I didn't pick up on it. I was like, "What? Where is that from? Like, who's?
Yeah.
What is that?"
that? It's between,
It's
Daphne and
the part where they first have sex. I think they were like in the inn,
Duke.
and like they just got married,
Oh,
and then they're arguing, and then he was like,
"Yeah,
I burn for you. Something I don't know. I don't remember the rest of the lines.
yeah, yeah." That's funny.
It's so funny because the other seasons, their like love devotion like lines are way longer. but the Dukes is I burn for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's because it's the first season. They're like
I
still
know.
kind of in that, trying to figure out like how they want to do it and how long, how short. But that is so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Well, the ending of the season 1 was really good. I think they closed it all up pretty well.
yes.
Especially having that ball at
Ooh.
their
The first not Danbury. The first Duke
Hastings.
Hastings ball.
Yeah,
ball.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
What did you
agree.
think about the music?
Yeah.
Like throughout?
Yeah.
I thought it was not bad. I liked it.
How they like modernized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
it was like
It was like pop music
yes,
Yeah.
but
with
they did,
classical
like,
renditions.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at first. Like when I first started watching a couple of those episodes, I was like, "Oh, this music is catchy." But then I had like subtitles on because I can't see without subtitles.
Yeah, and it
Like,
tells you
I
the-
can't hear without subtitles.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
I can't see without the subtitles.
It'd be like that, yep.
Yeah, but yeah, and so then I had subtitles on, and it would say it at the bottom. It would say like Ariana Grande, but like classical or something like that. And I'm like, oh my god. So then I would like listen out for the song, and I'm like, it is that song, and I'm like, oh wow, I like it, like because it matches kind of like the time and age and like what they're going for, but then it's
Yeah.
still like the pop song.
Yep. And the choreography, like,
Yeah.
still went with it pretty well.
Yeah, I did.
So
Every time I see that type of stuff, like when I watch these movies, I'm like, I should learn that dance. I kind of want to learn how to do that. It looks so
Ballroom
simple.
dancing.
Yeah. I'm like, it looks so simple, but at the same time, it looks hard. Yeah. Any other questions?
You kind of graced on it. We were talking about how like that one scene where you're talking about.
Oh,
with them.
yes.
Did you think that was SA?
Yes. I would say 100% yes, because it's all about consent. And so I'm like, she literally did it without talking to him, because then she goes and like finds out like, oh, this is how babies are made, you know, because she's over here thinking that he just can't have kids overall.
Or he's
And then-
infertile.
yeah, and that he's infertile. It turns out he's not. He's just purposely not trying to have kids. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
that's what. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because there were the scenes of the Duke when they were like looking at the scenes.
Yeah.
Like he would pull out and then
Yes. Yeah, and do his little thing, but yeah.
but
So that's why
that
like
scene-
that scene like annoyed me so much. I don't know if it's because of my history and like what I do as a job and everything and whatnot, but I was just like, why would you do that? Why, like, that's not even like logical to kind of like. But then I'm like, in the like heat of the moment and under like all those emotions, again, that's why I understand it. But
yeah, I agree.
yeah, well,
Yeah, but if it's SA, can you really blame the Duke for not reacting?
yeah, when you put it like that, I'm like, you know what? That's a good point, because how can people kind of like prepare themselves for that stuff, you know? Especially if he also thought it was just gonna be like a time and a moment that they always do, because right, the moment they got married, they was doing it a lot. So I'm like, if he's like, oh yeah, this is what we usually do at night, and this is how it goes, and there's no like problems or anything like that, of course he's not gonna kind of expect it. But I already knew the moment she flipped over and was on top, I was like, oh no, this is not gonna end good.
Yeah, I think definitely I understand why she did it. I don't think it's right. I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
she should have done it.
Yeah,
But I understand that she felt betrayed.
yeah.
And so she did something drastic. And that might have destroyed their whole relationship if he didn't forgive her. But
Yeah. Yeah, something I learned while doing like therapy and stuff is that their feelings are valid and they have
their
like every right
actions
to it,
just are not.
but their actions are not.
All
So
they had to do was talk to each other.
yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, can you blame? You can't blame her for not talking to him because he hasn't talked to her at all.
yep.
He didn't tell.
Yep.
She learned his
That's
trauma through other people,
Yeah.
like through Lady
Danbury,
Danbury.
yeah.
And the letters that she
Yeah.
Yeah.
read.
Of the dad, yeah.
So she probably felt like he wasn't safe to talk to, or like he won't tell her the truth.
Yeah, and I think she even went and confronted him about it. It's like why don't you open up to
Yeah,
me?
Yeah. So, now that is hard to do, like just opening up and whatnot. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, get it together, guys.
Like, just talk.
I know. But that's like a problem that people still have nowadays anyways,
True.
is that like
Yeah.
it's hard to talk.
Very
It's
true.
hard to kind of open up, especially when it's like a significant other and things like that. So I was like, you know what, we're still struggling with it now. So I could see why.
I wouldn't know.
Oh.
Oh, you did know.
I did know.
Yeah, so
But
yeah.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
What was your opinion on the Queen?
I don't like her, to be honest. Like, I don't understand her role. I felt bad for her after I found out about her husband, because like she kept asking. They would be like, "Oh, Queen, whatever." Like, your husband, what's his name?
King George.
Okay, that's what I thought. So they're like, "Yeah, King George," and she's like, "Is he dead?" And they're like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, then I don't really care," you know. So I was kind of like, "Damn, girl, that's bogus. That's your husband. He's the reason you're queen." But then when they showed that one scene where she went to go eat lunch with him, and he's all like, "Oh, how is that one girl doing?" or
Yeah.
something like that, and the queen is all like, "Oh, she like died. Like she been died a long time ago," and then he kind of like became psychotic after that. I was like, oh, that's actually really sad. Like she's already dealing with so much, and then the expectations of just being queen and like everything that goes with it. I was like, damn. But at the same time, I was like, girl, what is your problem? What are you doing?
Okay, the reason I think it's a coping mechanism for why she's so hyperfixated on Lady Whistledown, because one, it's directly attacking or challenging the queen, because they're always like, "Your move, queen," or it's always like that, where it's like directly calling her out, kind of, and so she feels like she has to kind of defeat her or like
do something about it. Yeah.
she needs to win, and she needs to be the queen. The queen always wins, and then she also has to put up a front because she has to be strong because her husband isn't. So she's technically
the king, I guess, and
The ruler.
the ruler.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's just her way of coping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you notice all of her wigs?
I mean, I saw that she would change it, but is there like symbolism to it or something, or?
No, they're just cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
It's just cool costume
I like how,
designing. And the more
different
you
wig
watch
every
it,
scene.
the more you watch it, it's like they up it up. Like, they
Oh,
up it.
really?
Yeah. So it's just getting like more and more creative.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of pay attention to it more then.
Yeah.
Like I'm like obviously they changed it for like the balls that they would go to and the outfits that she wore and stuff. But I thought you were trying to get to there was symbolism in it and remember.
I just thought the costume was really good.
I know the most recent season there are some actually during the Queen's spin-off there was a lot of symbolism in her wigs too.
Really?
I don't know if you noticed, but
Oh, I was like, I haven't
the
watched it.
spin-off. Not you.
Yeah.
Chewy.
That's why I want to rewatch it again, because
Yeah.
I've seen some reviews of that, and I kind of like, I want to see and connect the dots here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There's symbolism, and then especially for the third season,
third season 2.
there was a wig or two that had kind of like symbolism in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll have to pay attention to that then. But yeah, so I don't really know. The Queen, I was just like, I also didn't like that she was trying to force. Was it her nephew?
Yeah, her
Oh, the
nephew,
prince?
the
The
prince.
prince. She was trying to force him to like talk to Daphne, and she was like, "You're just gonna give up? You gotta do more than that. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. She's the diamond, and blah blah blah." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, girl."
Well, once again, that's the thing of her needing to have the perfect match.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Man, poor Prince. He's a good guy.
He was
He's a good guy.
very
He
respectful.
finished
Yeah.
last.
Oh my God! Shut up.
because Daphne likes chocolate ice cream.
Yeah. Not vanilla.
Not vanilla.
Not true.
Did y'all see
No.
with that one scene where he was eating the ice cream, he's eating that gelato, and then she was all like,
Oh yeah.
all like,
Yeah.
like, that looks good.
Yes, I did see that. I was like, I feel like
She
I'm
wants-
interrupting here.
He
I
wants
feel
that
like
chocolate ice cream.
I felt like I was there sitting with them. I was like, I'm still here.
Oh, am I interrupting something?
Yeah.
Should I just look away from the screen?
Yeah, right. I was like, ooh.
I feel like I'm gonna need to go back and rewatch that part because I kind of
gelato
remember.
part?
Yeah, the,
Oh,
yeah,
uh-huh,
the
uh-huh.
gelato part.
It's like right when he talks about, he teaches her how to masturbate essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they meet up again after
Yeah.
that, and then
Yes.
they're like,
I don't know why I
talking.
connected to that with the masturbation part, but I do remember
They were right.
that now.
They were right outside of the shop, and then they were talking about it. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Do you touch yourself?" And then she's like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel so bad for Daphne for like not being taught adult things.
Yeah.
You know.
That was a
Well,
long pause.
I don't think it's very common
Yeah.
to like talk about
I'm
it.
trying to be PG about it.
I think it's a little late to be PG.
Right, right.
But yeah,
yeah.
I don't think it's very common for like women to talk about these things because it's
Yeah.
in Popa. It's in
Yeah.
Popa. So they just kind of
Even
figured it
when-
out.
Yeah, because even when Daphne went to go confront her mom about
Yeah.
it.
Her mom didn't know how to explain
Yeah.
it.
Oh well, you know.
When two
When
people
you-
love each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I also think, like, it's not spoilers, but in third season, Lady Featherington is like, I expect your husbands to teach you these things,
Oh, yeah.
right? So it's like, I think the
Oh.
women kind of are like banking on the men,
yeah. So it's
telling,
supposed
teaching
to,
their
like,
daughters.
They're supposed to be kind of like blind.
Yeah,
With that topic and like, is that right? To be blind with it? Is that what it is?
in the dark.
In the dark, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
think it's like something they just don't talk about, and then they just
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe the moms also don't really know much, because you don't know how their sex life is.
True.
Yeah.
And we also don't know how much their husbands have told them. If it's kind of like, oh, well, your husband will tell you this.
hmm
Yeah. Well, we'll see. The more that we talk about this, the more I'm like, man, I should watch season 2 so I can hurry up and like see what it's all about.
We'll watch season
But-
episode 1.
Right?
Oh, yeah, we'll watch
After
episode
this
one,
podcast.
right?
One. Fine.
We're gonna go into like a commercial break. We're like, we'll be right back after this commercial,
Yeah.
and then we don't come back for like another hour because we're watching.
Come back like, okay, season 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then you'll meet Edwina. She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's just a little cutie patootie. And then Kate Shawarma. And her eyebrows.
Okay.
And her jawline.
And her jawline. Whew.
So good.
That's funny. I love that. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it then.
Yeah,
And if it sucks, I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
like, y'all set me up because that season actually was horrible.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to hype it too much. I
No,
really
yeah.
liked it, but Chewy didn't. So it's like, I don't want to hype it up too much in
Yeah.
case you don't like it.
It's not like I don't like it, but I also don't like it.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was good, but it wasn't my favorite one.
Look, okay. My prediction is that Lee's gonna like the second season. She's not gonna like the spinoff.
Ooh.
Actually, yeah, because like if you like enemies to lovers,
I
then
do.
you were gonna like the second.
I think I would like it. Yeah.
Mhm.
The third season is obviously arranged marriage, and then
Oh yeah.
friends to lovers. Whatever.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll
you'll get
see.
there.
Honestly, I feel like I could still talk about so much because it was so recent for me. But I'm like, I don't know how much you guys remember. From,
Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shoot.
That's the
Shoot,
only
I
thing,
remember
dude.
one.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the only thing I had like off the top of my head of like
Yeah.
like things we should talk about.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have something else you want to talk
Yeah.
about,
I was gonna say, sorry, I'm gonna put my leg up. If it looks funny on the camera, don't say nothing.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, and for the people who watch the podcast, don't say nothing either. But something I also thought was interesting in the first season was I don't remember his name, but the Duke's friend who does like the boxing or whatever. In the
I forget his
scene where
name.
Mr. Featherington
Ooh, yeah.
goes and he's like, "Hey, I will give you some of the winnings if you throw this match." I was like, "What? No way! Of course he's not gonna throw the match." And then what does he do? He throws the freaking match. I was like, are you serious? But then I know he brought up a good point. He was like, what do you mean? Like, because then he's talking to his wife about it. And she's like, you're really going to throw your pride away like that? And he's like, am I just going to keep fighting forever? You know, like, am I just going to keep doing this so that we can get money, so that we can feed and like do all that stuff to get money, whatever, you know? And I was like, ugh. You know what? He brings up a really great point. And so then he does. He throws the match, loses the fight, and then he gets like half the profit from Mr. Featherington or whatever. And then they like make enough money to kind of whatever. And then they show up to the ball that the Duke of Hastings has, and like the Duke noticed, like she had like fancier clothes and stuff on or whatever. And I was just like, man, that is wild. Like I was thinking about like, if I was in that situation, would I have done the same thing? So I'm like, I don't know, would you guys have done the same thing?
I think because it was such a good deal, I think I would, because like if you're in his position, right? You're a commoner, you don't have a lot of money, you're using your body physically, and there's not a lot of prospects basically. Like you're not gonna go up from here, right? And you're only gonna go down because you're gonna get older and you're gonna get injured, right? So I think for me, I would, if because the deal was so nice, because you're gonna win a lot, even though it's only split in half, it's still enough for him to like, get out, like you know. So I think I would have maybe not leave a paper trail. But obviously he had no control of that. So
I would have as well. I mean, especially like I got a family to take care of.
True.
You know, our current living situation is like comfortable, but we're still like living like paycheck to paycheck, kind of, you know, like fight by fight, you know. Like, and if I don't win this fight, then we're not gonna be able to like buy our kid like food
what they need. And
But I also think it's like, you know those like questions where they're like, hey, like would you slap your friend for $1 million bucks? And I'm like, hell yeah, I would.
So that was like that situation.
yeah.
That's a good point, yeah. Because I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, you know what? I probably would have done it too. Because it's not to say that he can never go back and fight.
Right.
Like, even if he wanted to, he can still go back and fight and still earn more money from that. But to, at least for a while, not have to, like, resort to that, like, kind of lifestyle to, like, provide for his family. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense.
And he did take that money to invest into
His family.
And does he open the shop in season 1 or no? No. Okay.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
But he does investment.
Yes, he invests in himself and his family. I don't think it's shameful for what he did. I think he did it with good intentions.
Yeah.
So.
I just hate that do I call him Mr. Featherington? What do I say?
Lord Featherington.
There we go. That's why I'm like, I kept saying Mr. I'm like, Mr. sounds weird. But yeah, I'm just annoyed that Lord Featherington, with his freaking gambling freaking self. Yes. Like, I'm like, sir, you're already in debt. Your wife knows. You guys are trying to figure this out on how to, like, pay off your debts. And what do? You try and put yourself in possibly more debt. You know? And so, because I'm like...
You bet your house.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm like, what if the guy didn't even throw the match? You'd be in even more debt. You would lose your house, you know? So I'm like, that was so dumb. But then I'm like, well, people with, like, addictions and stuff like that, it's really hard to kind of, like, manage it and, like... So... But yeah,
he ends up dying. Did that surprise you?
It did. It really did, because I was like on the fence. I was like, well, is the Duke's friend, is he gonna throw the match? Is he not? I don't know. I can't tell. So then when he throws the match and Lord Featherington does win, I was like, oh, okay, like maybe things are gonna start looking up for the Featheringtons then. You know. So then of course he goes drunk to that, what is it? Where does he go? Is it a hostel or like?
I think it was a hostel.
Okay, because I'm like, it kind of seemed like it was a hostel. But he goes drunk to a hostel, goes into the room, and then it's those two guys that he, like, did the bet with. And I was like, oh, no, this is not going to be good. Now, I thought they were just going to beat him up.
Same. Yeah. I thought they were just going to talk and be like, you know, like, you tricked us.
Well, I think maybe because he, like, won so much money and he tricked them, he probably felt, like, scorned.
Yeah.
I mean... that was a lot of money. And first of all, like his house is worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
A house in London? Sheesh.
Yeah.
especially one of nobility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So when they were told the wife, like, oh yeah, your husband's dead, I was like, what? No freaking way. I thought he was just injured. And so I'm like, I'm interested to see where they go with that. But at the same time, I was like, well, he didn't really play a big role in like the first season anyways. Like he would barely talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we kind of see him, it's more so of like his gambling and like problems with money. So I'm like, oh, I not surprised that they kind of like let's find a way to kind of like cut him out of this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, Anthony and his
Anthony,
Oh,
his
his
opera,
girlfriend's
his
name?
opera singer.
Yeah, his opera I don't know her. I don't remember her name. I'm so bad with names because I literally
forget.
I'm the most recent to have watched it, but he needed to get his stuff together.
Yeah.
Like I get it. He's a Bridgerton and he's the oldest son, so he has like a lot of responsibilities and whatnot. But I was like, I don't know, like what was so hard? I mean, I know it was hard. I was just gonna say, like, what was so hard about just like kind of professing that I love this opera singer and this is who I want to be with, you know? Because I know he was taking into consideration, well, I'm a person of nobility and then she's a commoner, you know? And so then, like, obviously that doesn't mix. Obviously that doesn't mix well, especially for like the elders and whatnot. But I was just like, I don't know. And then, of course, he goes and regrets everything when she finds a whole new man. I was like, boy, you lost your chance.
Yeah, literally, me and Chewy were watching it, and I was yelling at the screen. I was like, "Leave her alone!
Yeah.
Leave her alone!"
Like stop staring at her.
Yeah, stop staring at her.
He keeps trying to find moments to spend time with her, and he keeps, like, going to visit her. I'm like, sir, you clearly don't want her enough to, like, actually do anything about it. Yeah.
And then when you do, that's a little too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little too late.
So I was actually really happy when he like went to her house to try and bring her to like the Duke of Hastings, their ball.
The ball.
I was so happy when she was like, no, like I am happy with where I'm at. He loves me for me and like whatever, like you need to let me go. I was like, yeah. Let her go. Cause
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
she definitely deserves that. I was like, good for you, girly. Now, obviously, I was like, you look dumb. Because before she said that, what did they do? They had sex.
Yep, they did. That's why I was like, too, like, oh, like, yeah, like, she's really gonna go back to him. And
Yeah. It really made me think that she's gonna go back. Yeah. But she didn't. So I was like, good for you.
I think because they had sex that day before was when she realized she had to let him go. Because when he was like, come to the ball with me, like this and that, and she was like, I'm never gonna be like who you want me to be.
Yeah.
Like I can't. She doesn't want to be part of the debutante or whatever.
Yeah.
The
elite.
The elite.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be like involved in that. So I think she just had to let him go. She was like, if I don't tell him to leave me alone, like he's never gonna leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because he needs to go and like do his duty.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, man, that was also, I was like, what? Why? Like,
Yeah. I hated when Anthony was so controlling over Daphne. It's like,
yes.
No, you can't talk to him. No, you can't talk to him.
Yeah.
Bro.
Okay, but he brought up some good points, like about the potential guys.
Yeah.
He's like, he's in debt. He has a mistress. He has this and that. And so it's like, I understand why he's doing it. Is he letting her do her own thing? No, that's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is that he wouldn't let her figure it out.
Yeah.
What do you think about that whole dueling scene?
Oh, freaking.
Oh. Go ahead, Nancy.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying, I fucking so stupid.
Dude, I thought it was so dumb. I was like, bro, what? This is what you resort to when your sister is like, what do they call it?
She is.
They got caught kissing.
Yeah, so basically like no longer pure, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was like, what? But then technically it's like illegal. Like they said, that's why they were like trying not to get
Dueling
caught and whatnot.
Is not legal.
Yeah, so I was like, what? Why in the world are you resorting?
Oh
my
Second time.
Why are you resorting to something that is now illegal? You know, because I'm pretty sure back then, like it was fine. I already knew that Daphne was gonna like be able to come in and stop it or whatever. And I already knew that I had a feeling that the Duke was not gonna actually like shoot Anthony. And then I also knew that Anthony at least didn't want to like severely like harm the Duke. But when it all happened, I was like, what the heck was the point of this? Like, literally, it wasn't even like that much that happened that added to the storyline. Like, y'all should have just beat each other up and then that would have been more interesting.
It's showing that the Duke is petty enough to die instead of marry Daphne.
True. It's kind of like the symbolism behind that. Yeah, because then Daphne even brings it up. She goes, "You would rather die than marry me?" He doesn't say anything, and I'm like, "You would rather?"
I think it's also because he doesn't want, like, if you think about it, right? If he dies, Daphne will be then honorable again, right? Because he did the dishonoring. So if he dies, then she can go back and find a husband or something. So, and because he knows that he can't be what she wants in a husband. So it's stupid. The thought process is there, but it's stupid thought process.
It was like, dude, just talk it out.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to that. It's like,
and once again, it's them making decisions for Daphne instead of just being like, "Yo, Daphne, we can marry, but like, I don't want kids."
Yeah.
It's really like, "Okay, we'll still marry."
I agree.
It's just it wasn't informed consent. I think.
Yes.
When he told her that he can't have kids.
Yeah.
If you're just honest and you're like, "Yo, I don't want kids."
Yeah, and she said it too. She was like, "You gotta like word it differently. Like you said it as in like I can't have kids, not I don't want to." Yeah. So.
I won't have kids.
Yeah. There we go. I was like, she did not say I don't want to. That's too long.
Yeah.
What is it? But yeah. So that was I thought that was kind of dumb. I was like, what? We're doing like a little dueling thing now. And then Anthony uses that chance to go back to the girl and be like, "If I don't die, we'll run away after this or whatever," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? Why are you trying to find like every other excuse to be with her instead of just being with her?
Just run away together.
Yeah, so that was
She
annoying
doesn't
too.
even pick him.
Yeah, so she didn't even. Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, there's just so much that I'm like, what? So much is going on, and like, obviously they've got to like put in some drama every now and then to keep people interested and whatnot. But I was like,
What'd you think about Benedict?
who's Benedict again?
Second oldest brother.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the artsy
I
fartsy one.
don't
Yeah.
know what to think of him. Now, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw him, so he goes to like that art person's place or whatever, sees him making out with a guy and like all that stuff. So I'm over here like, are they trying to hint at something? Are they trying to say that like Benedict might be a little fruity, you know?
Yeah, that's what I thought too at first.
Yeah, and so then I'm like, I can't tell. But then he goes and like he starts making out with that the
dress.
wife.
yeah, the wife.
The wife
One,
of
the
the
freaking
guy.
wife. Oh, yeah. And then also, that dresser. So then I was like, oh, okay. Does not like take away that he might still be a little bit fruity, you know? But I was like, I feel like I didn't get much from him though, because like what we do see is like him talking to Eloise, kind of being on the same page as Eloise. So I also don't really want to fall into the expectations that they have for like us and yeah. So I was like, oh, I love that. But then we start seeing him being like more on the artsy side and like trying to kind of like engage in that more, but like he's still trying to be secretive about it. She just let out the longest fart ever.
I heard that.
I didn't hear that.
I thought you heard it. I thought that was why you turned and started
I was laughing
laughing.
because the IT guy was like smacking her in the face with his foot.
Yeah,
because she wouldn't stop clawing at herself.
My God. But anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking
She
about.
farts
But
and she just runs off.
yeah. Oh, but yes, Benedict. So
Yeah,
Benedict.
so spoilers, not spoilers. There's no hint of that, him being like even bi for the rest of the shows. And so that's why people were kind of upset. They're like, why are you like queer baiting him? Like, but it's just like people are like, oh, okay, yeah, he's gonna be bi, or at least bi. He's gonna at least
that's
be
what I was
bi.
thinking.
And then nothing. So people are like, what's the point of that whole scene then? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Other than, I guess, for context, because, like, you know, because the guy, the friend, he's like, oh yeah, it's hard to be gay in this society.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think maybe that's the only thing that can set that up. I
Yeah.
guess,
And
but
maybe it's kind of like showing him like, no matter who you are, you still have to live in the society a certain way, but only when you're in a place of like so much creative freedom and freedom. You know what I mean? You can be who you are with who you want to be.
Yeah, I think that's also something that they're trying to connect, because he was talking about how he didn't want to be like responsible for Viscount or whatever. And he wants to be like artsy guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think art is like very like elite at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very like high, well looked upon. So yeah, and then that whole scene was like, you can learn to live how you want. You just have to figure it out. Like you can live however you want. You just have to like kind of like
figure out how to go about doing that. And excuse me, oh my gosh. But yeah. So not too much from the brothers right now. A little bit more from Anthony, because he has to kind of take on that role of his dad and help Daphne and all. But
they're also setting him up for his season. Anthony.
Oh, Anthony. Yeah.
For the first season.
Yeah.
You're mostly focused on Daphne and Anthony in terms of the Bridgerton siblings.
Yep.
Oh, how do you feel about Violet Bridgerton, the mom?
Oh, yeah, the mom.
I like her. I feel like obviously like she could have been a better mom in like some cases.
In terms of sex ed.
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of that.
In terms of that. But I feel like she was a good person. Now it's hard because like there's a scene where it's after it comes out that Marina is pregnant and everybody basically shuns the Featheringtons, and then the mom too, Violet, she also like starts to kind of shun them, and then Daphne still like interacts with them. She's like, oh yeah, you know what, actually I'm gonna invite them to the ball, because like what better way to kind of like start change basically, but by being that change, you know. And so then Violet's like, oh, haha, yeah, you're right, you know. And so I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, the society at the time and like all of that stuff, it makes sense. So Violet does a good job of kind of like following that, but also like being more lenient and kind of like, I don't know where I was trying to go with that. I just lost my train of thought.
She's open-minded.
Yes, there we go. Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it definitely was like, she can get a little annoying in terms of like, I want you to have what we had, what me and your father had, and then like people are like, yo, it's okay, like I'm just gonna marry whoever, like it's fine, you know. And she's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
What about the Duke?
Yeah.
Like I get it that she sees it and she knows that they're in love, but like she just kept
pressuring and trying to push for
them,
that, especially for when the Duke and Daphne first started their little
their ruse.
When they first started it, like and the other suitors started becoming like more interested in her. The mom was kind of like, what, like why are you accepting their stuff? I thought you and the Duke.
She probably saw the chemistry and she was like, they're gonna fall in love.
Yeah, but still, like I was like, she has like every right to like still try and pursue others, but the mom's kind of like, what's going on? What are we doing? Why are we trying to? But
But I mean, you also understand that like the death of the husband was pretty recent. I think it wasn't only been a year. No,
I was gonna say in the
remember
first season,
actually I can't. I don't want to.
Don't do any spoilers.
I don't want to spoil it, but no, it's not. It's not been a year.
I didn't say anything.
And if you think about it in terms of the siblings, you would know.
In terms of the siblings,
you won't get it, but Chewy will get it.
Okay, yeah. I think
remember
I know.
the flashbacks.
Yeah, the flashbacks. Yeah.
But so
not recent. I think it's at least been like 10 years.
And Anthony's still a little douchebag.
Listen, he was young when they died. When he died.
Yeah, you had 10 years to get your shit together.
Okay, but no, I don't know how this works, but I think because Violet is the Viscountess still.
I
Or
guess
she's
so,
Lady
yeah.
Bridgerton right now.
Yeah.
So she probably took over and she like was doing everything until he was of age.
Oh,
And then he
yeah.
took
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you remember he went to Oxford
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Duke.
That's right.
And so
Yep.
that he had enough time to do some stupid shit.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was like mature, and he's still
Yeah.
not mature in the first season.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
it's like
not.
maybe not
He's
even the
trying
second
to.
season. Okay.
He
I don't
was
know, you never
trying
know.
to, but I feel like he was trying to. I
Yes.
didn't even hear what Nancy said. So when
Oh,
Chewy
good.
said, "You never know," I was like, "Never know what."
Don't worry about it.
But yeah,
Now you'll
I
never
think
know.
I think
I would
Anthony
never
was
know.
trying to do like what he could, but I think he was doing it in the role of a brother figure versus that father figure. Because like
Yeah.
again, that's why he's like, no, don't talk to this guy, don't talk to that guy.
Yeah.
That's why Daphne's like, okay, well, are you gonna let me talk to anybody? You know? And then when he finally has his little epiphany, where he because he, an opera singer. She was like, yeah, you always check your clock, and every time we do this, you always have somewhere to go, and blah, blah, whatever. And then that's his epiphany of, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go, and I'm going to, like, start leading and going into the expectations that people have of me or whatever. So then he sets her up for marriage with that one guy. I was like,
Oh yeah, that
Oh.
one guy.
up. You got me messed up. You
The-
really think...
I don't remember his
Yeah.
I don't remember. his
I don't
name. He
remember.
was
I don't remember his name
he
either,
was a
but
jerk, and he.
yeah, I was like,
name. Goofy ass guy.
Yeah. And then like he like wouldn't believe Daphne after Daphne told him like what he was trying to do to her.
what do you mean? Like you're talking about in the garden,
Yeah.
or
Or like.
oh
or,
no, I
like,
thought he
she-
knew,
she-
but
well, yeah.
Wait, what? Say names, bro.
Daphne was trying to tell. It was that
Goofy
one
guy.
scene, Goofy guy, when the Goofy guy was like, he like grabbed her, right?
Yeah,
And then this is when the Duke came out and like saved her.
yeah.
he didn't save her.
No,
She fucking sucker punched
Oh
that.
no, yeah, he didn't
what
save her. Yeah,
She sucker punched him,
yeah.
and then he got knocked out. And
Yeah,
then
and
the
then the
Duke
Duke
was like,
witnessed it.
"Yo,
Oh, the
what
Duke
the
witnessed
yeah,
hell?"
he
Yeah.
witnessed it,
Yes.
but yeah,
Yes.
but yeah,
He doesn't really save her. He like
doesn't.
confronts him later
yeah,
after
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
yeah. But yeah, when Anthony was all like, "I have promised you to," whatever the guy's name is, I was like, "Why in the world?" But
Because
I
he's the
saw it.
best-
I saw it. Yeah,
he's the best on
He's like,
paper.
I looked into his background. He has no this. He has no
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But the issue then is like you didn't even ask her, and
Yeah.
like clearly he's not.
Yeah.
It's not a love match because she's not interested in him.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm doing what's best for you. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Honestly.
yeah.
and I think he was also trying to get her away from the Duke.
Yes.
That too.
Because he was all like, that's my best friend. I already know like how he
is.
is. And,
But then that was also like a pain point because people were like, the fans were like, so he's good enough to be your buddy, your bestie, but then you won't let him marry your sister. Like, so you're saying that he can't marry your sister because he's like a hoe and he runs around and he does all this stuff and he goes drinks and he like, I don't know, gambles or something. But he's good enough to be your friend.
Right. And he
Right.
does that as a friend.
Yeah,
It's
when
okay.
he doesn't fuck all the other girls
Yeah.
around
Ooh.
and you're okay with that, but
didn't even think about
now
that.
you can't let him do that to your sister.
Didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
That's why it's like some guys that have like assholes of friends, and it's like, okay, why are you telling me to stay away from your friend when they're your friend in the first
Right.
place? Why are they your friend in the first
Right.
place?
I can see that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So much from just season 1.
Just wait until we like start connecting season 2, spin-off, and
Yeah.
season 3 all back together.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Did you like Penelope?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't like her because I don't think she necessarily does anything that's like annoying or anything. However, I'm like,
Wait, you mean that you don't not like her?
yeah. What did I
You
say?
said I don't like her.
Sorry, I don't not like her. My bad. I don't like her. Yes, I don't not like her. I feel like obviously I think her character grows later on throughout the seasons. But for now, the only thing I was just thinking about was, girl, if you like him, say something about it. Because I'm like, she's over here trying to convince Marina
yeah.
in like every other which way, like why not to like talk to Colin, why not to marry him, things like that. So I'm like, girl, like, I don't know why, like, you're over here doing all this stuff. And I know, like, at one point, Marina goes, you love him. And Penelope's like, you don't know what you're talking about, you know? And I'm like, girly, it's, like, so obvious.
That was your moment to tell Marina.
Yes, that was your
Yeah.
moment to be like, you're right. Like, I do like him, love him, whatever, you know? Not that it would have done anything. I don't know if it would have done anything. I don't know if Marina would have been like, okay, I'll back off.
Yeah. No, I think Marina was in a position where
She was
couldn't-
desperate.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was just like, girl, what?
Well, I think for definitely season 1, Penelope, she's very insecure. So
Yes. Yeah.
she has no reason to believe that Colin would like her.
Yeah.
And like,
Which
he
is
doesn't
yeah.
show at all that he's interested in her.
Which
In
is
fact,
understandable.
he friend zones her
Yeah.
multiple times
He
in
Yeah.
the
definitely
show.
said
Yeah.
So
a friend.
yeah, I don't
Yep.
think she was very confident that even if she
Yeah.
confessed her love, he wouldn't still go to Marina.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. But
So I think she just wanted to preserve her friendship with him rather than risk it.
yeah. I also didn't like how she blew up on Eloise. Yeah, because Eloise comes to her house and she's like, I have more about like Lady Whistledown and like, it can't be a maid, or it can't be a maid. Yeah, she goes, it
maid
can't be a maid.
servant, yeah.
It can't be a servant because they're too busy, you know? And so then she's like trying to, and then Penelope's like, I don't care, you know? And she's like, I've got all this stuff, and like, what if I do care about like marriage and blah blah? And I'm like, girly, you gotta speak your mind more often, man. Like, it's hard, and it kind of just circles back to that communication. However, I'm like, this is all in hindsight. Like, I feel like if I'm in Penelope's shoes, I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I
so-
think because like she was saying like they live very different lives because even though they're best friends, they're very different lives. Like Eloise is from a very happy family, very
True.
close family,
True, yeah.
and she is rich, so she doesn't
Yeah.
have to find a marriage,
Yeah.
a match.
Versus
But
Penelope.
Penelope, she's in a very toxic household,
Yeah.
and she's alone in that
Yeah.
household,
Yeah.
and the only way she can get out is through marriage.
Yeah.
And even then, the only thing she has to herself is Lady Whistledown. And so
Yeah.
for Eloise to always be talking about Lady Whistledown and Penelope is going through all this shit, like personal shit, it's like, bro, like, stop talking to me about some gossiper, girl. Like, even if she wasn't Lady Whistledown, we're
Yeah.
like, bro, I got other shit to worry about.
That's true.
Be like,
That's true.
Okay, Eloise, I'm Lady Whistle down.
No.
Like, just,
No,
Okay, let's stop.
yeah.
Stop talking about her.
So
okay.
people are always like, oh, why didn't she just tell Eloise? If she just told Eloise, that she wouldn't have like spiraled that like badly.
Yeah.
But then people are saying if Penelope had told Eloise at that point on season 1,
Uh-huh.
Eloise would have taken over. She would have been like, you need to write about politics.
Oh,
Politics
yeah.
Or this and that.
Yeah.
Why do you
women
keep
and-
talking about marriage and
Oh.
this and that?
I
And
guess
so,
yeah, I can see
and
that.
that's the one thing she had to herself. I don't think
Yeah.
she wanted anyone else to know.
Yeah, I can see
Ah.
that. Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it like that. It's always after I watch a show and then I hear like other people's comments about it that I'm like, wow, how do you guys think about this stuff? Because that never crosses my mind at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I agree.
that makes a lot of sense actually. That's where I'm kind of like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I can see why she did what she did, and definitely all has like a purpose and a reason to it. So
No, I mean it's very interesting to hear your like raw thoughts without
Yeah.
like any outside influence.
yes, yeah, that's true.
Oh,
yeah.
I tried so hard not to like.
I know. Right when I told you guys I finished watching season 1.
I want to ask you so much. Like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah.
So,
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I
think
think
that's
that's
it.
it. Yeah.
the main points.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what do you think about the Marina, like, how she ended?
Oh, I thought that was so sad.
Finding out that
Yeah, she
actually-
married the brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
her
like,
love
what?
actually
He
died
actually
in the
died.
war.
Yeah.
And he was halfway writing her a letter.
I know.
Right.
I thought that was so sad. And like I was confused for a second when because this is like after we find out that Lord Featherington is dead and Lady Featherington is like standing in their door room or whatever, and Marina asks like, how do you do it? How do you like stay in a marriage like if you don't love that person without love, whatever, you know?
Oh, that's the part I was talking about. Like when Lady Featherington is being like a mother
Oh,
figure,
yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
like actually giving
that's
advice,
kind of that. Yeah,
like from her experience.
that's kind of like
as a
that
wife, as a
good
mother.
side that we
Yeah.
see of her, aside from like the whole debutante stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, that's what I really.
that's why I think
Yeah.
Lady Featherington is a very complicated character.
Yeah.
Like you can't hate her, but you can't. Yeah, you don't love her, but you can't hate her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, so when Marina had asked, like, she was like, how do you do it? I was like, what? Like, that's such a random question to ask. I wonder why she's asking it now. You know, come to find out, she agrees. She's like, yes, I'll go and marry that guy. I was like, that is so sad, actually. Because I'm like, for Marina, like, it's all about kind of like that love aspect, which is totally understandable. But then for her as well, when she finds out that the baby actually did not, like, get miscarried or whatever, you know, like when she finds that out, she's like, oh my gosh, what do I do now, you know? And so then for the sake of her and her child, she's like, okay, I'm gonna suck it up and I'm just gonna do it because that's what's best for both of us.
Yeah, because Lady Featherington's advice was like, you find something to love.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
I was like,
And,
that is so
and she
sad.
has her
so
kids,
good.
Yeah.
her future kids.
Yeah. So
And it seemed like the brother was a nice guy too.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
seemed
hey,
like he
like
was
I'll take
nice.
care of you,
Yeah.
and I'll take care of, you know, like my brother's kid.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He was
I
like,
just-
I know my brother would want this. Like, he wouldn't want you to kind of just like be on your own and
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sir Philip.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
his name is. I think his name is Sir Philip.
yeah. You know what we should have done was we should have done this whole podcast in a British accent because we were talking about Bridgerton.
I can't do.
I can't do
I
that.
can't do it.
I feel like I would slip in and out from the British to like Australian or like to something else, and then I'm gonna be like, am I even?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't practice enough with my Australian accent, so
Me
I
neither. You mean British?
Yeah. No, Australian. I can
Oh,
do
oh.
British. British
Oh.
is easy.
Oh. Yeah.
But I know you.
I-
Chewy, your accent is
Don't look at me.
horrendous.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. So that's funny. But yeah, that's about it for Bridgerton.
Okay, now we're gonna go watch the first episode of
Season two.
and we'll get her raw reaction.
Yeah, right. We'll just record the whole thing.
We'll just do a little pop up down here, and then
Yeah, right. All right. Well, I guess that concludes our kind of first official episode of the podcast, kind of just talking about season 1 of Bridgerton. Nancy, I know you said for our next podcast, kind of looking forward to Reddit, right?
Reddit stories.
Reddit stories.
Ooh, we love those. Awesome. But
That'll be fun.
yeah. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and just make sure you look out for our next episode.
Like, subscribe, comment,
Give it a thumbs up,
thumbs
Or-
up.
thumbs down. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah.
Or give us ideas what you want us to talk
Yeah.
about. Always
We're
open.
down to talk to about anything, but
Almost anything.
almost anything.
As long as YouTube allows it.
You never know. Okay, bye.